Hey, good evening, everybody. We're going to give a couple minutes, let everybody get in here. I put an announcement out here a little while ago. I'll be going live around 8:40, so I want to make sure we give everybody an opportunity to jump in here. And then we'll get started. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I waited till late tonight for two reasons. Number one, I figured everybody probably had plans out this weekend outdoors, being as gorgeous as what it was. And also gave me a chance to be able to take a look at the latest data on the models, as we've been talking about this here about the last week and a half, 2 weeks, on the potential to see some severe weather this week coming up. So in which we do have it's pretty tough because there's a lot of conditions. This is a very conditional threat that we have over the next 2 days. That's the reason why the models are having a really hard time deciphering out exactly what type of severe weather, timing of the severe weather, and where this severe weather is going to happen. Hey, sis. So also, you guys probably noticed that we got a new camera angle here. So I decided, I've had a few people say, man, so that I wish we can actually know who we're talking to. So I decided to go ahead and utilize a webcam. Then that way you guys can see me talking, see my interaction. So kind of show off. We do have some new shirts. Nader Boy, Super Subby, and then Storm Chaser. Can't really see, but it's on the back. So we are going to be utilizing this. If anybody's interested in the shirt, we'll have more information coming up. But gonna try to use part of the sales of these shirts to help out Nader Boys on their expenses this year for storm chasing. So we'll go in more on detail on that here once we get through this severe weather. So we'll go ahead and kind of start diving into this. So what you're seeing up here on the screen right now, this is the Storm Prediction Center, where you see this yellow is a slight risk, where you see the more deeper, it's supposed to be orange, that's an enhanced risk. And there's two areas on that, one down here into central Oklahoma and another one up here in north central Kansas into eastern Nebraska. Now part of the west central Missouri counties are in this slight risk. This is going to be for Monday, late afternoon, likely overnight. This will likely be a nocturnal event. Our system is still way out here in California, just coming into the California coast, pumping up a bunch of rain into Southern California, as well as upper elevation heavy snows up in the mountains. That will be our weather maker for Monday and Tuesday. So we'll come back to this screen here because we're going to take a look at Tuesday, where I feel we might have a better shot at seeing some severe weather here in west central Missouri come Tuesday afternoon. So let me jump over here. We'll take a look at the 500 millibar chart. Now remember, this is 18,000 feet above our heads, so we can kind of see where these storm systems are going to go, and that's going to play a very vital part into who sees severe weather Monday and Tuesday. because this is the bowling ball. This is it right here. It's a bowling ball that is going to be negatively tilted, which means once it gets out here in the Midwest, you'll see this be tilted from northwest to southeast. And what that does, that helps allow lifting. And of course, that's having a lifting mechanism is definitely a precursor that you have to have for strong supercells. So let's put this into motion as it comes across here. And notice now it's starting to become negatively tilted. You see how it's slanted right like this. That's going to allow for some lifting, and this low pressure system is going to tap into the southern jet. And you notice this area of dark red colors, those are very strong winds at the 500 millibar height. That's going to help aid in the formation of supercells and severe weather, especially down here in Oklahoma and up here near the surface low, up here in central Nebraska and down in central Oklahoma. And one of the main reasons behind that is because right at the leading edge of these red colored area of the strong winds, right up here in the left corner is where you are expected to see the most wind shear, the better organized severe storms. But this area tomorrow is going to be underneath the cap. So on some model data, it's not even showing any thunderstorms at all erupting until 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning out here in Kansas and Oklahoma. And then as these storms begin to continue off to the east, and then on Tuesday, then the cold front catches up with the dry line, and we'll have more of a squall line. For those of us that were at the severe storm seminar that we put on here last month, that's the most common form of thunderstorms of supercells that we get is in a squall line form, in which you have a whole line of storms march through. It's quick. You might get a spin-up tornado or two, maybe some large hail, strong damaging winds, and then it blows across. And I think that's likely what we're going to be seeing on Tuesday. I am not seeing much of a threat for tomorrow. And I've been following every update for the last 72 hours, and there's also mixed emotions out there in the weather field as far as what's going to happen tomorrow and Tuesday. But right now, the 2 points for tomorrow is going to be down here in central Oklahoma, and that's going to be right here at the nose of this jet stream during peak heating hours, and again up here in central Nebraska. That's where this low pressure system is going to be centered, and there will be a triple point. That's where the cold front, the low pressure system, and the dry line all intersect, and that creates obviously tons of wind shear. And of course, you have a lifting mechanism. You got the cold front, so you've got better dynamics up there near that low pressure system. So those are the two areas that will be the focus point for, I believe, tomorrow night, if they happen, and that's still a big if. And then on Tuesday, we'll see some thunderstorms move through. We'll have them scattered throughout west central Missouri late tomorrow night, into the overnight, and Tuesday morning. We might have a couple little lines of showers and thunder showers move through. But it's Thursday afternoon when that cold front and that dry line catch up with each other and they move across west central Missouri. We will likely see a line of potentially severe storms move through Tuesday afternoon. So we'll come back to this picture here in just a moment. And actually, I can probably just do this right now. So I'm going to fast forward this here just a couple of screens, and we're going to take a look at the hotographs for West Central Missouri. So for this time period, which is late Monday night, this will be 2-3 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday morning. It is showing a marginally severe setup. We do have, now remember, this right here shows the change of winds and height, with this horizontal line right here being surface, and as you go up in the atmosphere, you notice this red line begins to curve. Well, that tells you what direction those winds are coming from. So the more curvature you have more wind shear. And you can also see that down here on the left side, where these flags at the surface are coming due out of the south. And then you go to the southwest, more southwest, and really kind of west southwest. So there's a lot of wind shear at the lower levels, and that's why you see that curvature in the hotograph. So the ingredients are there. It's just going to be whether or not we can break a cap. This hotograph right now shows no cap in place, which seems to think that we could have thunderstorms overnight tomorrow night, some of them possibly severe. There is no cap. If there was a cap, this red line would have a spike. And remember, this is the surface. You're lifting a parcel of air, and as long as it's warmer than the air around it, it will continue to rise. Okay, well right now, it can rise and it just keeps on going all the way up into the atmosphere. Okay, that means that thunderstorms can form, but sometimes you get a little spike here where once that parcel of air hits a pocket of air that is warmer than itself, it can't rise no more, and that's the cap. So that is what we're going to be dealing with tomorrow's setup out here in Kansas and Oklahoma, because if any of these storms should happen to form and become tornadic or become severe, there is a possibility it can clip some of our west central counties, such as Cass, Bates, and of course then up closer to Kansas City, Jackson, Wyandotte, and points to the north. So that's tomorrow. Now let's take a look. Let's go back here and let's take a look at Tuesday and what the Storm Prediction Center is looking at. We'll go to day 3. And now you've got all of Missouri in that slight risk. Now, where there's already an enhanced risk up here does encompass some of our west central Missouri counties, primarily Johnson, Pettis, and parts of Henry and Benton counties. Now, the reason why there is an enhanced risk here is that the low pressure system is going to be right here. So remember, we're gonna have the dry line, we're gonna have a cold front, and then we're gonna have our low pressure system. So we're gonna have this triple point right here, and that's where you're gonna have your best dynamic for the formation of supercells. Possibly some could be tornadic, and this will be for Tuesday afternoon. So we're all going to be under that risk on Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to check out here. I'm going to check chat. I've been talking, hadn't been paying much attention on the chat side. So let me just take a look here, see what we've got. Hey, Lucky. Hey, my daddy-o's watching. Hey, no problem, Freedom Farm. So we got, if anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot them out there in chat, and I'll get to them. I wish I had real solid forecasts for Monday and Tuesday, but we're pretty much are in a state where we're going to have to do what they call nowcasting. Nowcasting is pretty much we're just going to have to, every time they launch a weather balloon, we're going to have to see what that weather balloon, the data from it is telling us. Are we still under a cap? What's the upper level winds doing? And it's going to be like that for the course of the day tomorrow. So the best thing that we need to do right now is just be weather aware from tomorrow afternoon, sometime after 5 o'clock. If we get thunderstorms, it'll likely be overnight. I could have a very long night tomorrow night, so because I will be tracking any storms that fire up tomorrow night, obviously. So, and then Tuesday, we'll be watching Tuesday afternoon and evening for the possibility of seeing what we're seeing here on the screen for Tuesday, the possibility of seeing some severe weather. Now, as far as what kind of severe weather, now we go back, let's jump back over to tomorrow, and we'll take a look at the tornado risk for tomorrow, in which, or not tomorrow, I'm sorry, that'll be for day 2. And we have a very large area all the way up through almost all of central Kansas, central Nebraska, parts of central Oklahoma, and they're in a 5% risk. And then outside of that, including some of our counties in west central Missouri, a 2% chance. Now, and again, this will likely be nocturnal. It will likely be after dark, which is always tough. Our storm chasers can't necessarily go out after dark and try to relay information to us. So we're dependent a lot on radar and technology on the computer. So, and it does encompass some of our west central Missouri areas. So we definitely need to be, I don't want you guys to let your guard down for tomorrow. We still need to be weather aware, but there is a possibility we might not even get a drop until Tuesday afternoon, and that line of storms come through. So we need to stay weather aware. Make sure your weather radios are plugged in, battery is good in them, so that you guys can go to sleep tomorrow night knowing that if there's any severe weather, your weather radio will wake you up, because this is looking like it could be a nocturnal event if it comes to fruitation. So let's take a look at the hail threat for tomorrow. And we've got some hatched areas with over a 45% chance of seeing 2-inch or bigger hail, all throughout that same tornado 5% risk area. And then we've got a 15% chance for some of our counties here in west central Missouri, Jackson County, Wyandotte County. So we'll have to be watching that. And then, of course, we also have to worry about strong straight line winds as well. And some of these storms could cross the state line into some of west central Missouri counties. So that's for tomorrow. Now in the morning they will be updating. This area. So right now, a lot of west central Missouri is in the black hatched area, which is 45% chance of seeing severe thunderstorms within 25 miles of any point in this area. So our risk is pretty high for Tuesday afternoon, but I think our primary concerns are going to be large hail and damaging winds. The Storm Prediction Center will come out with that information in the morning at 8 a.m. for the threat assessments for Tuesday. So we'll have to kind of take a look at that, and I do believe that there will be a at least a 2% chance, if not a 5% chance, of a tornado in this area that is surrounded in this black circle, and it is going to encompass some of west central Missouri. And that's because, again, that low pressure system is going to be sitting right here. The cold front is going to be, that's the dry line. There's the cold front. And this is the low pressure system. So right at that triple point, right here. And that's what the Storm Prediction Center is concerned about. So probably more so Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening for us here in west central Missouri. But keep in mind, I will be watching these storms tomorrow night. I will have all of my bells and whistles and alarms and everything else that drives half of the viewers crazy when they start going off. All of them will be on. And if we have any threat for severe weather tomorrow evening, I will be going live, of course, and we'll track these storms as they come into west central Missouri. Do we have a rough timing? Sure, MH. Let's just take a look. I've got our short-term model pulled up right now. So let's just go into, and you guys will notice, I'll tell you what the timestamps are here. Let's see if I can pull this out. Maybe you guys can see it just a little bit better. Let me go the other way. I got too many screens pulled up. There we go. You might be able to see that a little better. So right here is the time. I'm just worried about Norman with, I know, poor Norman. We get thunder, and that dog is he goes nuts. So we're looking at the timing for Tuesday. So let's put this into motion. This is right now, and we go into Monday. This is 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, and notice the short-term models are showing a few little isolated thunder showers. So don't be surprised if we get a straight thunder shower throughout the day tomorrow. I mean, I had 89 degrees here at the weather station today, so we have more than enough instability, as well as dew point being up in the mid 60s, upper 60s, with the front approaching that is bowling ball its way into the Midwest. So it can spark off a straight thunder shower anytime tomorrow or Tuesday, and it will start to kind of look kind of messy on this screen here as we go forward. But and then we go Monday at noon, and we do have a couple supercells, looks like, out here in northeast Kansas that we'll be watching for the potential of crossing the state line up here. Some of our friends up in Smithville, St. Joe, Maryville, Kansas City. That's at noon. And then we start to see some showers and thunder showers. This is 9 o'clock Monday night. Now, I'm not seeing much of the severe variety. We're still going to be under a moderate cap at this time. But, a model only tells us what could happen, not what will happen. Now, if the conditions improve throughout the day on Monday, and we get a little warmer than expected, a little bit more sunshine, a little bit more instability, we're going to have to be watching for the potential of seeing some stronger storms, because all the ingredients are out there. And then we go 1 a.m., 6 a.m. Tuesday morning, and we still have some showers and thunder showers throughout west central Missouri, very scattered in nature. And some bigger storms at right around lunchtime on Tuesday here in central Missouri. West central Missouri has some showers and thunder showers. We'll be watching for the potential of possibly some of them could be severe. And then we will start to see as we move through the afternoon. This was 3 o'clock. And here's when the dry line and the cold front, they catch up with each other. And that's when we're going to see more of a linear style squall line that will be moving across. And this is at 3 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. So from Kansas City down through Bates County, Vernon County, Cass County, all the way down into Pittsburgh, Kansas, is likely when this line is going to begin to initiate. And then, of course, as it moves to 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Tuesday. And then our threat will be over. So probably that this thing has sped up and slowed down every model run. So you can just pretty much count on from about, say, 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon till 6 o'clock Tuesday night is going to be that window that we could see what I feel like is our best chance to see some severe weather out of this storm system. Now remember, if these ingredients begin to enhance any tomorrow, we could be dealing with a few severe thunderstorms tomorrow, and especially if they get created out in eastern Kansas and move across the state line into west central Missouri. So that's what I will be watching throughout the day tomorrow into tomorrow night. But right now, the biggest severe threat is going to be after 2 o'clock on Tuesday for west central Missouri. And also, I'm going to jump back over here to pivotal weather here one moment. Now once you guys see this area up here on Tuesday, this is another low pressure system that's up here in Canada. And you guys remember on our calendar that the last potential freeze was going to be from like around the 15th through the 18th, 19th, something like that. It's showing colder temperatures at higher elevations off the ground. There's nothing really there to be able to drag those colder temperatures down. But this low pressure system right here has become so strong. As I go forward with this, you will see how it will begin to drag this a little further south. Now, I am watching to see right here how far down that colder air will sink down. Now, right now, it's just showing temperatures in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees as we go into the weekend. But there could be the potential, even at, say, 35, 36 degrees, that we could get a light frost. I don't think we're going to get, there's really no chance for it to get down below 32 degrees. But you can have frost when it's not 32 degrees. So I'll be kind of watching that a little bit, just for most all your plants and everything can survive as long as it's not below 32 degrees. But you may want to cover your plants in case we have a chance for that light frost. But it's not looking too likely right now, but it is definitely something I'm keeping my eye on. I have not totally threw the potential out the window yet. I did take it off of our calendar because I don't want people to think that we're going to get down to 25, 26 degrees, which we won't, but we may have the potential to see a frost by the weekend. So I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for that as well, so you guys will have a chance to cover up your plants. Any other questions out there, guys? And I'll, when I get up in the morning, I will be drinking a cup of coffee and looking at the model data. If there is something that stands out tomorrow morning, I will definitely shoot a update here on Facebook. Won't be a live stream, but I will update on what I'm seeing in the morning, just where you kind of plan your Monday a little bit better. Alright guys, that's all the information that I have for this evening. It's a little after 9 o'clock. Still have 72 degrees here in, excuse me, in Clinton. So if anybody has any questions, I know a couple of you guys have reached out to me. Stacy, if you're watching, I know you did, and I'll reply back to you. There's been a couple of people that's wanting some they're wanting some forecasts for future dates, in which I'm not avoiding that. I can go in and do the work on our dashboard, but I'm patiently waiting for Gary to notify me when our global prediction map, interactive map, will be ready for me to download, and I'm going to be able to go anywhere around the world just one click of a button any day over the next 6 months and give you guys a LRC prediction forecast for that particular day. So I'm patiently awaiting that. It's supposed to be coming out. It was supposed to be out sometime last week, but I have not heard from them, so I'm crossing my fingers this week I will have that in my possession, and then we can we'll do a couple live streams a week. And if you guys have any plans for the next 6 months and you would like to have a forecast, I will be able to do that very, very easily. Alright guys, hey, no problem. Remember, stay weather aware the next 48 hours. I will be updating in the morning with any new info that should happen to come out. But just remember, I'm not downplaying tomorrow. We still need to be weather aware, but it's looking like our biggest threat is going to come in on Tuesday afternoon. So everybody have a fantastic start of the week on Monday. And I'll give an update first thing tomorrow morning. Have a great night, guys.